Hello students, this is Baranika ma'am. In this video, I'll be taking up Bio for Standard 6. Here in this video, I'll start up with chapter 1, that is in your book Plant Life. Now children, up to this class 5 you have learned a lot about plant, what are plants, what is the function of green plant, etc, etc. Now in this chapter we will read in detail about some parts of the plant. Now let's start. Flowering plants, they are basically consisting of two main systems. One is the root system and one is the shoot system. Now what is the root system? Root system is the part of the plant which remains under the ground, and shoot system is it includes all the parts of the plant that are above the soil, that is stem, leaf, branches, flowers, fruits, etc. Now in this chapter of your class, we will basically discuss about the shoot system. So to start with, in your book, as you can see, the first part is given leaf. So now first we will discuss about what is a leaf. You can see here I have marked the definition. Leaf is a thin flattened part of the plant that appears from the nodes of the stem and branches of a plant. This is the definition. You will learn that. Now here one picture of a leaf is given, which I have drawn in this paper, and here in detail you will see the different parts very clearly. I have drawn the diagram, children. You can see there the parts are also labeled. See here, this is the stem. From the stem the leaf is arising. You see here this point, the point on the stem from where the leaf arises is called the node. The stalk of the leaf is the petiole. Now you can see there is a structure in the central part which is called the midrib. That is the midrib, the ridge-like structure. Arising from the midrib, you can see there are lines coming out. These are called the veins. At the tip, you can find this point. The tip of the leaf is called apex. Now these sides, this is called margin. Then coming to lamina, this green flattened part is called the lamina. So these are the different parts of the leaf which you will practice. Now along with these, you can see in your textbook black letters some definitions are given, which I have already discussed in the diagram. You will learn all these definitions. Coming to next part, venation. What is venation, children? Now this venation is the arrangement of veins in a leaf. How in a leaf? See here, you can see in this diagram the veins. This arrangement of veins in a leaf is called venation. Now you can see here I have done it in the schematic. Venation is of two types, reticulate and parallel. What is that reticulate venation, children? All the definitions also I have written down here. Net-like fashion. You see in this picture, you can see the veins are all shown in a very haphazard manner, in a net-like manner. This is called reticulate venation. And where will you find it? You will find it in a China rose leaf. Coming to the next one, parallel venation. You will find in the leaf the veins are arranged all parallel to each other. From the midrib they move towards the margin parallelly. This is called parallel venation. Example, banana leaf. So these are the two different types of venation in a leaf. Coming to the next topic, that is types of leaves. Now basically the leaves are of two types. What are they? One is the simple leaf, another is the compound leaf. What is a simple leaf, children? You can see this. This is a simple leaf. Means the lamina is entire. But in case of a compound leaf, the lamina is divided into many leaflets. This one is entire one leaf, and the lamina, it is divided. So see here, what is the simple? This is the simple leaf. This is the compound leaf. See the definition in your book. You will learn from here. The leaves with undivided lamina are called simple leaves, and the leaves in which the lamina is divided into several parts. As you can see in the diagram, here the lamina is undivided. It is entire, but here the lamina is divided, and these are called leaflets. This complete is one leaf. Okay, children. Now we move to the next part, that is arrangement of leaves. Means how in a petiole or how in a branch the leaves are arranged, that is called arrangement. You can see here different types of arrangement of leaves. So children, now we will see how the different leaves are arranged on a branch. You can see in the diagram which is given in your book. Just see the diagram how the leaves are arranged. Yes, that we will discuss now in this. First one, alternate. First, let me tell you why there are different types of arrangements. Leaves are arranged so that they can absorb maximum sunlight for photosynthesis. The main purpose of leaf is to undergo photosynthesis. So they are arranged in such a way that they will absorb maximum sunlight. Now see first one, alternate. What happens in alternate? From one node, one leaf arises. Suppose from this side one leaf has arisen. Now second leaf arises from the opposite side alternately, and at one node there is only one leaf. Next we come to hold. Hold means at one node there will be more than one leaves. This is called hold arrangement. All the definitions I have written down here, children. You can see only one leaf at a node and the next leaf in opposite direction. This is alternate. What is hold? More than two leaves arise at one node. That is called hold type of arrangement. Examples are given in your book, children. You can read from there. Coming to the third type, that is opposite. You can see from the diagram, from one node two leaves are arising at opposite sides. So two leaves are present on opposite sides of a single node. This is called opposite type of arrangement. So leaves have three different types of arrangement. Coming to the next topic, that is functions of leaf. First point is photosynthesis. All of you know that, children, that photosynthesis is the process by which green leaves prepare their food by the help of carbon dioxide, water, in the presence of sunlight, and chlorophyll is already present in the leaf to give rise to glucose, release oxygen and water. This is the word equation for the process of photosynthesis. Let me write down here, children. This is the word equation. You may be asked in the exam to write down the word equation for the process of photosynthesis. Coming to the next important function, that is transpiration. Transpiration, it is already given in your book, children. What happens? The excess of water that the plants absorb, that is released out of the plant body in the form of water vapor. And how does it come out? By the help of these minute pores present on the leaf surface, which are called stomata. And these two cells which surround the stomata, they are called guard cells. So function of leaf is transpiration. Third function of leaf is gaseous exchange. As you know, plants take in carbon dioxide and release out oxygen. So human beings do that by the help of their nostrils. But in case of plants, there is the presence of stomata which undergoes exchange of gases. So gaseous exchange is another function which is carried out by leaf. So with this, we have discussed about the functions of leaves. Now, what is the next topic in your book? The next topic is leaf modification. Means in different plants the leaves are modified in different ways to carry out specific functions. First one, modification or modified leaves perform several specialized functions. Main function of leaf is photosynthesis, transpiration, gaseous exchange. Other than that, the several other specific functions of leaves are for support, then for protection, for storage and protection of bud, for trapping of insects. These are the additional functions of leaf. For that, the leaf undergoes modifications. For support, you see, climbers, like you have seen in the pea plant or in the this cucurbita plant, that is pumpkin plant. You will see that the leaf, you can see this thread like structures. These are called tendrils. The apex of the leaf is modified into thread like structures called tendrils, which hold the support, and which what they do, which they surround the support. Suppose this is the leaf, you see here children, this is the support. So if a leaf is arising from here, then this support, it will twine around this support. This is called, what is this? The leaf is undergoing tendril formation for support. So that is one modification of the leaf. Second one, you see, for protection. Leaves of plants like cactus modify. You see this? Cactus plant, you know, it is found in desert. The leaves are modified into spines. Why they are modified into spines? There are two reasons. One is for prevention of transpiration, so that excess water is not lost. Second one, it is for protection, so that the animals will not eat up the plant. Third function, storage and protection of bud. Some leaves are modified to form scale leaves which can store food. You see, in the case of onion, this onion which you are eating, these are actually the scale leaves, and these leaves only store the food. So this is actually modification of a leaf. Clear? Next one, trapping insects. You know, there are some insectivorous plants which trap the insects and derive nutrition from there. Which are they? Pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, bladderwort. Picture is given children. This is the pitcher plant. If you see the diagram here more clearly, you will see just like a pot. Pitcher is what? It is a pot, and this is a modification of a leaf. Here what happens is just like a lid, you will see, and what it will do, it will close, so that when the insect will enter the pitcher, this one will close. All right, so the insect will be digested inside, and after getting digested, it will be utilized by the plant. Again this will open, the lid will open. So this is pitcher plant. Like that Venus flytrap, what it will do, it has got a trap like structure. When the insect will come inside, it will close, so that the insect will be digested inside. One more example, bladderwort. So these are the three types of plants for trapping the insects. So what we have seen children, modification of leaf for, first one was for support, second one for protection, third for storage and protection of bud, and fourth for trapping insects. Now up to this, how much you have read, the revision zone fill in the blanks questions are given. I hope you will be able to answer. Clear children? Now next topic is vegetative propagation in leaf. Vegetative, what is the meaning of this vegetative propagation? You know what is reproduction children? Reproduction means the process of giving birth to new individuals of the same type. That is called reproduction. So reproduction is of two types. One is sexual and one is asexual. So sexual reproduction you will read in senior classes. Now vegetative propagation means a type of reproduction where new plants grow from the vegetative parts of the parent plant. This part is important children. Vegetative parts means these are the parts other than flowers, fruits and seeds. You know till now that any plant that you grow, that we grow it by the help of the seed. But there are some plants which are also grown from the vegetative parts. Which are the vegetative parts? Root, stem or leaf. When we grow the plants from these parts of the plant, it is called vegetative propagation. Now let's turn the page. See here. So one example is given in your book. You see Bryophyllum. This is the plant in which new plant can be grown by the leaf. You can see from the diagram, from the margin of the leaf, one new shoot is growing. Clear? So this can be grown into a new plant. So in Bryophyllum, the new plant undergoes reproduction by the help of the or from the leaf. So this is a type of vegetative propagation. You know, Rose plant, you might have seen your mother when she grows a new rose plant, she takes the stem cutting. From the already existing plant, the stem will be cut, and when that stem is grown in the soil or that is that is potted in the pot, then the new rose plant will grow. That is also a type of vegetative propagation, but that takes place by the help of the stem. Clear? Now let's come to the next topic. The next topic is flower. This flower is the most important part of a plant in the sense that this is the reproductive part of the plant. Means from this part, the flower, we can grow a new plant. How? By the development of the seeds. From the flower, the seeds can be obtained, and by the seeds we can grow the new plant. So flowers play an important role in reproduction of a plant. So now let's see what are the different parts of a flower, children. You can see here a very beautiful colorful flower is shown. This is the flower you see here. If you see a flower, you can see at the base this one. Like in the stalk of the leaf, you know it is called the petiole. This is also the stalk of the flower. And here you can see green structures. This is the first part of the flower, which is called sepal. These are called sepals. Then next you can find brightly colored parts, which are called petals. These all individual are called petals. Third one, you can see here coming out these structures. You can see these 1, 2, 3, 4. These are called stamens. What are they? Stamens. Finally, in the center you can see there is a long tube-like structure, and at the base it is swollen. This is called the pistil. So how many parts I said? 4 parts. What are they? Sepals, petals, stamens and pistil. These are the 4 major parts of a flower. Now you will read about it in detail. What is that? Calyx. What did I say? This is the outermost part of a flower, which is called sepal. Calyx, what is calyx then, children? Calyx, it is the combined term, common term for all the sepals. You can see here one sepal this side, one sepal this side. Collectively we can call it as calyx. Like that, these all individuals are called petals. Collectively it is called corolla. Individual, this each one is called stamen. Okay, collectively it is called androecium. Individually this is called pistil. Collectively it is gynoecium. Now calyx is the outermost part of the flower. It is green in color. Function is given here, children. This is the outermost part of the flower. It is made up of sepals. Function is protects the flower. Corolla, it is the next part of the flower. It is brightly colored, and what is the function? Attract the insects for pollination. Third part I said androecium. This is the collective term is called androecium, and it is the male reproductive part of the flower. Now each stamen has, you can see here this stamen, this long stalk tube like structure, this is called filament, and at the tip you find here this is called anther. So each stamen has anther and filament. Okay, then what is the function of this stamen? The anther has fine powdery structures called pollen grains. So these pollen grains will help in reproduction, and this is the male reproductive part. Coming to gynoecium, its collective term, this individual is carpel, connective term carpel or pistil, anything you can say. Collective term is gynoecium, and it is the female reproductive part. This is the innermost part of the flower. And what does a carpel consist of? Stigma, style and ovary. See the diagram, children. This one you can see it is not clear, so I am drawing it on this paper. You see here this one, like this is the structure of carpel. You will see here swollen. This is the stigma. The top part is the stigma, this is style, and this part is the ovary. Now, in the ovary, you will find there are small rounded structures like this. They are called ovules. Ovules. So, in the pollen grain, in the pollen grain of pollen grains of this stamen, we will find male gamete, and in the ovules you will find female gamete. So here the sexual reproduction takes place in a plant. Now, what is the function of flower? The reproductive system of plant is found in flower. Flower attracts insect for pollination. It provides a platform for development of fruits and seeds. So in this video, I have completed up to this, children. In the next video, we will proceed further.